Hello there. So before this video starts, just want to say I've got a bit of a cold, so my voice might sound a bit strange. But yeah, Anyway, welcome back to another Big Finish review. Today it's a doubler. Today I'll be taking a look at two rather old releases in the Big Finish catalogue. Only the Monstrous and Infernal Devices, the first half of the War Doctor series. I decided to take a look at these series during the sale on Big Finish's website in memory of Sir John Hurt. And let's just say, John Hurt is now one of my favourite Doctors. Doesn't beat Capaldi, but he's definitely amazing. Also, spoilers. So let's begin with Only the Monstrous, Part 1, The Innocent. This is a really wonderful story. John Hurt is truly spectacular as the Doc... No one. He's no one. He's no one. His voice is so great and I love the way his character is written. The temporary companion for this set comes in the form of Rejoice, who is a lovely addition to the set. She's such a kind-hearted person, and despite everything the John Hurt's character does to her, she still loves and cares for him, and continues to see the good in him. I just love that. The opening scene where the Doctor, I'm just going to call him the Doctor, uses the time destructor is really excellent, and I love the plot with the Italians invading Kesca. Overall, it's just a wonderful story, and I loved it to bits. Next up is The Thousand Worlds, which is also really splendid. It has some really great scenes and concepts, and one of the strangest cliffhangers ever, with the Daleks chanting about peace. Yeah, anyway, I thought it was amazing that we returned to Kesk and the Talians. I really wasn't expecting that. And Rejoice is back, so that's always good. All the supporting characters like Veclan, Bennis and Arverton are great too. And not forgetting Cardinal Elistra, who's heavy Mysterio. And the grand finale, for this set at least, The Heart of the Battle, which is Fabby Dabby. I was genuinely a bit upset when Rejoice died. Well, maybe died. But the scene where it actually happened, I could completely relate to the Doctor's rage and anger. I wanted to murder that Talion. As for everything else that happened, I loved it. Overall, this box set is absolutely phenomenal. I recommend it to everyone. Moving on now to Infernal Devices, which is still good, but not quite as good as Monstrous. It begins with Legion of the Lost, which tackles the really interesting concept of the resurrection of fallen Gallifreyan warriors, at the cost of a whole other species. Overall, I did enjoy it. Following on from this is A Thing of Guile, which shows the Daleks conducting some weird experiment that goes a bit wrong, but it's an interesting story idea that isn't really explored to its full potential. And I thought the giant worm thing was a bit... Anyway, and finally, The Neverwhen. I really wasn't a huge fan of this one. A lot of people rave about it and say that it's excellent, but it was interesting and I liked the storyline, but just the listening experience wasn't quite so enjoyable for me. But it was fine for what it was. So overall, one excellent series and one fairly decent series. One slight complaint I would like to make about both these box sets is how the Doctor just acts like the Doctor. When we first see him, he's already done all the horrible things and he regrets all of it. I would have liked to see this Doctor and what he did, all these horrible things. I would have wanted to see that aspect of the character rather than what was left of him after he did it all. But I am fine with it the way it was. I would definitely recommend the series to anyone, especially to newcomers, as it's really easy to follow. You can buy this on the Big Finish website, but I would also recommend checking Amazon, as they're a bit cheaper. So thank you so much for watching this video, and let me know your thoughts on these box sets in the comments below. And as always, laugh hard, run fast, and be kind. Soon my army will rise and begin their great conquest of this universe. And this time, you will not be able to stop us, Doctor.